All right, you did it. 30 days, done. You showed up, you pushed through, you actually finished what you started, and for that, you should be incredibly proud. Seriously, that's a massive accomplishment. So just take a second and congratulations. Okay, so let's get right into it, because after that little celebration, there's this huge question that just kind of hangs in the air, right? What do you do on day 31? What happens now? Believe me, this is the moment that's going to define your entire journey.
And look, let's be totally crystal clear about what's at stake here. This is not a small decision. What you do next is literally the difference between a total transformation and going right back to zero. It's the difference between locking in all that hard work and watching it just fade away. I actually have a name for this moment. I call it the 30-day cliff. You know, it's like you're standing at this fork in the road, and there are two completely different paths in front of you. Choosing the right one? Well, that's everything.
And here's the secret that most people miss. The next 30 days, they matter so much more than the first 30. Think about it. The first 30 days were all about getting momentum, getting the top spinning. This next phase, this is about making sure it keeps spinning. It's about making all that progress permanent.
And this slide just lays it out perfectly. On the left, you've got the common path. It's so tempting. You tell yourself, hey, I earned a little break. But that little break turns into a week, then a month, and bam. Before you know it, you're right back at square one. But the other option, that's your path. The one where you build on what you've done, you solidify those habits, and you totally level up your results. So how do we make absolutely sure you stay on that second path and you don't fall off that cliff? Simple. You need a plan. You need a roadmap. So, welcome to Phase 2. This is your brand new game plan for days 31 all the way through 60.
So what is Phase 2 exactly? Well, it's a really important shift in how you think about all this. You're moving on from just proving you can do the workouts and stick to a plan. Now, it's all about actively improving who you are. The focus now is on building visible muscle, speeding up fat loss, and really sharpening that discipline so it lasts a lifetime.
All right, so that's the big idea. Now let's get into the nuts and bolts, the actual practical strategy. This is your upgraded game plan. This is the how-to for getting results that don't just disappear in a few weeks.
And it all really boils down to 3 simple core ideas. First, we're going to slowly increase the intensity. I'm not talking about anything crazy, just maybe 1 more rep, or adding a tiny bit more weight. Second, we're upgrading your diet. This is not about restriction, okay? It's about eating better, not less. So swapping out some processed junk for real whole foods. And third, this one's a non-negotiable. You've got to move every single day. And no, that doesn't always mean a crazy workout. It could just be a 20-minute walk. The point is to make activity just part of your day.
You know, that first step about intensity is really all about your mindset. You are officially shifting out of weight loss mode, where you're just trying to burn calories, and you're stepping into performance mode. The goal is no longer just to finish. The goal is to get stronger, faster, and just a little bit better than you were yesterday.
And here's what that could look like in a typical week. Notice there's a real strategy here. The strength days, that's what builds the muscle that revs up your metabolism. HIIT days, that's for maximizing your cardio and torching fat. And just as important, you see them right there, are the active recovery and full rest days. That is what stops you from burning out and lets your body actually repair and get stronger. See, this is the formula for building up, not burning out.
Okay, so you've got the physical game plan down. Now let's talk about locking it all in with the right mindset. Because the real transformation, the one that sticks, happens when you change your internal story from proving you can do it to improving because you know you can. I want you to think back on what you just did. Those first 30 days, they were really a test, weren't they? They were a test of your commitment, a test of your willpower, and your ability to just show up for yourself day in and day out. And guess what? You passed with flying colors, and you didn't do it for anyone else. You did it to prove something to the only person who really matters in this, you. You proved to yourself that you are capable of doing hard things.
And because you passed that test, you are a fundamentally different person today than you were 31 days ago. You are stronger. Your mind is sharper. You are now someone who is consistent. That's your new identity. Own it.
So, if the first 30 days were a test that you passed, then these next 30 days, well, this is a transformation. This isn't about retaking the same test. This is about taking those results and becoming the person you always knew you could be.
To put it as simply as possible, this is it. This isn't about just keeping things going or maintaining. This is where you level up.
So as we wrap this up, I want you to remember one thing.
The next 30 days will change you. That part's not even up for debate. The only question left, the only thing you have to decide is how. The choice and the person you become is completely in your hands.
Thanks for watching. Every repetition counts. Every day matters. Stay consistent. See you in the next video.